Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Tysis, and we're here to talk about video game journalism and particularly Nintendo Life, which is like the biggest website around on the planet when it comes to Nintendo news and all that sort of stuff. Now, my bone to pick with them is that I feel like that their quality at times is rather poor. And I think it's the same thing with a lot of video game websites out there in general, because some of the articles that they post is just trash or has nothing to do with it's not even newsworthy. And you notice this pattern, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. There's not as much Nintendo news around. There's a lack of news around, and you've got to create articles and clicks and views to pay the workers who write these articles on Nintendo Life and other websites like IGN and Press Start, which is an Australian-based website. Now, remember Nintendo's old seal of quality, the little gold little badge on those games? Back in the days when you knew when you were getting a game, it was of good quality, and they stopped doing it around the Wii era or, early around then, because they started to put a lot of shovelware onto their consoles. And don't worry, the Nintendo Switch has some pretty bad games on it too, because there's so many games on it. It's over 2,500 games on the platform. Now, Nintendo Live's quality of articles has sort of gone a bit downhill. Now, they still produce good stuff, and some of the features are quite good, but, far and few between. But let's have a look at some of the stuff that they've been doing at this point. So, let's checky this. Alright, we're here. So, the first, this has to be the most pointless article that I've ever seen. Possibly this year and possibly since ever. This is an article that tells you that the Animal Crossing New Horizons has sold more copies than the entire Metroid franchise. This sounds like one of those funny little facts and trivia things that you find on a beer cap bottle. You open up the beer bottle and you open it up and you go, oh, that's an interesting fact. It doesn't deserve to be made into an article. So basically, they saw this guy, who knows who he is, but that probably doesn't even matter. More people have bought Animal Crossing New Horizons in just over 3 months than the entire Metroid franchise over 34 years. It's an interesting little fact, but no one gives a shit. Like, you could have said that maybe for the F-Zero series or many other franchises that Nintendo has done. But apparently, this is a quality enough discussion to have for some reason. It's a quirky fact. That's what it is. It's even mentioned. It's not even a newsworthy topic. Now, this is just appalling for this thing. Now, it could oversell Wii Fit. It could, oversell many other franchises. But this is my example, one of the examples where video game websites are just publishing just pointless news to get you clicks and views and to make money. And I can understand that, with the pandemic and there's a lack of news coming out for Nintendo websites and general websites at times, that they'll resort to these sort of tactics to try to, keep up appearances and things like that. Now, Nintendo Life's random section gives them a license to publish whatever rubbish comes online. As long as it's got the word Nintendo in it or they mention Nintendo about something, we'll just publish that stuff. So this next very newsworthy article by Nintendo Life is talking about someone using a GameCube as an ashtray. Yes, this is very newsworthy. This is top-hitting stuff by the biggest Nintendo website in the world, because no one gives a shit. But let's go and read it. So, the funny thing about this article was that this was on Reddit. This was a Reddit post, like years ago. This is 4 years old on Reddit. And it was resurfaced. You know what? If you're a Reddit user, You know that people like to repost stuff every 3 to 6 months, or even sooner than that, and you see the same images and you see the same funny memes, and you go, oh, I've seen this on Reddit like 3 or 4 times. Oh, and the sort of clickbaiting for getting upvotes. That's why people do it on Reddit. It's the same thing with anything else. So, and basically, this is a newsworthy thing. Now, Nintendo Life could say, oh, it's just a random section on our website, it's a bit of a ha-ha funny stuff. And, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to post funny, little quirky articles from time to time, but come on, Nintendo Life. There has to be like a level of quality of articles that you should be going, maybe this is not a good article for our website. We like to have some sort of standards, pull back up your pants sort of thing. And this is just a really pointless article that really is not needed. Of course, some of the comments are, funny, they probably don't even know. What was this for the last one? Because I did make a comment on Twitter that got a few likes saying that, look, it's the most pointless article in the world. But whoop-de-doo. What's their next article? The next article is Nintendo tweaks Mario's nipples. This is another newsworthy sort of thing because it's in the random section. It's not really news, but we're still going to publish it because, we've got nothing else to talk about for the day. We could have done a feature. We could have talked about something that's a bit more intelligent, but, we've got to make money somehow. By Gavin Lane. And apparently his nipples were, surprise, surprise, they were removed. He has no nipples. He's a video game character. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Wow, they even grabbed the screenshot of zooming in on Mario's nipples because this is the big breaking news that's happening for Nintendo. I know it's been a quiet year for Nintendo games since Animal Crossing New Horizons and Xenoblade Chronicles and that. And this is what they're resorting to. This type of, oh, they nerfed the nipples. Wow, that's newsworthy. And they go, wow, this is totally a big deal, says Jay. Yeah, it's more important than the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the biggest issue we've got to talk about in the video game industry. Maybe we could talk more about, the sexual allegations and all the different studios that's been happening in the video game industry. But no, Mario's nipples is a very pressing issue that needs to be talked about. And, of course, what other problems does the video game industry have? They love reporting on rumors that is basically based on nothing. For example, Breath of the Wild 2. So someone decided to whack up a piece on Amazon website. This happens quite a lot. Placeholders. So a collector's edition for the upcoming Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has been spotted online. This was it. This is all the proof that you need to get an article. This is so you could have easily created a product if you worked for Amazon and just slapped on a fake image, a bit of a price tag that looks like, that looks like the type of price that I would pay for, for the deluxe version. And of course, earlier this week, which they also happened to report on because there's the link right there. It's another rumor. A Switch edition of Skyward Sword, which has very little evidence apart from, a listing on Amazon. So, and of course, they took it down once the press caught wind of it. Now, do they say they think it's going to be happening? Well, not really. They're just posting that, could it be on its way? Could it be? Could it be? And of course, everyone gets hyped and they get all excited and they build it all up. And of course, IGN, which I don't even watch anymore. I don't even go to the website. basically posted the rumor. Now, the username Wario64, he's a nice dude online. He just posted up the thing that he found on the Amazon UK. And basically, they link to every single other article for you to click on, because it gives them an excuse to go, oh, well, here's one article that we spoke about, and there's the second one, and there's the third one, and there's the fourth one, and there's a fifth one. We'll put in our review too for you to click on that. And we've got a seventh link for you to click on too. So that's why they do these rumors, which is quite appalling. So Nintendo Life is not the only ones that post rumors and post rubbish type articles. And I wish that the video game industry was a bit more serious. You know, I think we can I think even sports journalism is probably a bit better than us at times. And I don't understand why we have to post every rumor or every Amazon listing that we find, or anything that is just a little rumor that might not be built up enough. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo Life or IGN makes an article in 3 to 6 months' time that goes, why are Nintendo fans always overhyped about Nintendo Directs? What could be the cause of that? Is it because we post rumors every day and every week and we build up their excitement, and then it doesn't happen, and then they yell at Nintendo because, well, we saw this rumor on Amazon that, you know, Breath of the Wild 2 was coming out next year or at the end of this year. You know, that's the annoying thing, is that a lot of websites like Nintendo Life builds up the suspense and excitement for a Nintendo Direct by posting all these rumors and and things like that. And then you get your excitement built up, then you realize it's not real, and they get angry at Nintendo. And it's built up by the video game industry media, which I think is not very responsible, and I don't think it's really the right thing to do. And I do understand that, yes, they've got to get clicks and views, and they've got to earn a certain amount of money to pay the workers and journalists, the ones who actually have the degrees, for that. But there has to be like a level of quality for the websites. And this is why, you know, I look at places like Vooks, which is a great Australian website, which I can show you if I can. And there is also one other website that I shall showcase to you now. Well, I'm just doing this. So it looks like I may not be able to. Nope, I found it. And what I'll show you here, once we can get there, is we will show you two good websites to go to. So let's have a look. So these are two really good websites. So Vooks here, you've seen on the Smoke Bomb show here on our channel. They don't post rumors unless it's like so, you know, the likelihood of this rumor happening is really high, and it's reported by very legit people who are in the know, and they always, you know, Daniel and his team always posts really good content, and he doesn't post every rumor that comes up. The other more serious website, if you don't want to get the shits and giggles of Nintendo Life, is Video Games Chronicles. Now, they've broken a lot of really good stories this year, you know, talking about allegations and things like that, talking about loot boxes and really just no-nonsense news. And that's what they claim to be on their Twitter account. And that is absolutely true. Now, they do talk about rumors, which is a little bit disappointing. But let's say sources have previously told VGC that Nintendo could hold back its next full direct until as late as August or September. So, but who knows if it's true or not? And hopefully, since September last year. So they have noted down here that, look, you know, there hasn't had a Nintendo Direct all year. You know, you need to be a bit more, you know, don't keep your expectations high. So they would be two websites that I would be going to for Nintendo news if you want sort of really legitimate stuff. So this has been a bit of a long-winded video, but that's why I just can't take Nintendo Life seriously. And some of these other websites that I see too, some of the smaller websites, and if a place on Nintendo Life starts to post random crappy, low-quality articles, then, and rumors too, then everyone else hops on the bandwagon and they build up the expectations of what could be a next direct or what Nintendo fans are looking forward to, and then it doesn't happen. The Nintendo fans get angry at Nintendo, and then the media's like, those are Nintendo fans, they should not build up their expectations so high. It's not like we're responsible for that. But they are. And that's why Nintendo Ninja News, we try not to post that many rumors at all. I think it hurts our views. We could be a clicky bait website or YouTube channel, and we could have gotten a lot more subs, but then again, I think we would have gotten a lot more hate for not being honest with people and, you know, just posting rubbish. So, is a Nintendo Direct happening? No one knows. But we'll find out when it happens. It will happen when it happens. So, enjoy your Switch games. There's like 2,000 games on it. Don't tell me there's no games on the Switch, because you're not looking at some of the great indie games that have just come out today and all the other games that are probably in your backlog that you probably haven't touched in months or years. So go look at them or other consoles. So that's all I've got to talk about for my bit of a rant, and hopefully it does make some sort of sense. But I just want to see video game journalism and the industry just raise the bar a bit more from the bottom, because it's getting closer and closer to the gutter. So, and we don't want to be like that, especially when the video game industry has problems with big studio devs which are engulfed in the sexual assault and allegations. You have communities like the Smash Brothers communities where it's dealing with stuff and problems about loot crates and gambling and video games. You know, we need to have a serious and mature journalism in video games to rot out these problems, because these shit and giggle websites won't. They won't report on that stuff that often. And they might, but they'll be quite timid when they do. So, that is it for me, and I shall see you next time. I'll see you then.